Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're staying safe. Guys, I've been reading a article. Gervonta Davis's trainer has come out and said, before I get into the video, make sure you smash the like button. But Gervonta Davis's trainer has said that we are waiting on the Lomachenko fight. Calvin Ford has said that, we are waiting for that fight. Now, this is great news. It's great news, but let's be honest, it's all talk at the minute, because I've always said that, the Calvin Ford said that it's a mega fight, it's a super fight, and it's the fight that we're waiting on. It's a huge fight. There's no doubt about it. Gervonta Davis v Vasily Lomachenko is an absolute monster fight, and when that fight happens, it will be huge. I think pay-per-view numbers, everything. I just think stylistically, styles make fights, and I think stylistically, it's a brilliant matchup. I think a lot of people are swaying towards Loma. They think Loma's going to beat Gervonta Davis, but I think they're underestimating Gervonta Davis's boxing ability and punching power. I'm not for 1 minute saying that Gervonta Davis is going to beat Lomachenko, but I think Gervonta is being overlooked in that fight. Gervonta is a very dangerous fighter. Very dangerous fighter, and him and Lomachenko makes for a beautiful fight. I would honestly, it's one of the fights in boxing that I really want badly, and hence why I do quite a few videos about it, because I actually love the style matchup. I just love the fight. I just think for about 4 or 5 years I've been wanting to see this fight. I just think stylistically it's such a beautiful fight for the boxing fans and the purists. I think it's one for the purists. It's one for it could potentially be a war. It just, for me, you've got a boxer puncher against a pressure boxer. Like, Lomachenko's a pressure fighter, but with a guy that got great angles, great movement, and you very rarely see that. You very rarely see a pressure fighter that's, always on top of you, that's got great movement, great angles. He's just a phenomenal talent. And Gervonta Davis likes guys to come to him. So it just makes for a dynamite fight. The question is Gervonta going to be, is his boxing IQ going to be good enough, or is he gonna be good enough? Is his ability and talent gonna be good enough for someone like Lomachenko, who's a very skilled fighter? Lomachenko could potentially school Gervonta Davis, pretty comfortably. And listen, I feel Lomachenko is the favorite going into that fight. I favor him in the fight, but I actually think that a lot of you guys, for some reason, seem to be writing Tank off. A lot of you guys seem to be thinking that Tank has no chance, and Tank's fought nobody, and Tank's a hype job, and I totally disagree. I think Tank's the real deal. I do. I can tell when I see a fighter and I see something special. He's got really dangerous power. He's got that explosive, wilder kind of like knockout punch where he can wipe you out with one punch. He can hit you with a beautiful shot and knock you clean out. There's not many fighters that have that. Gervonta has that, and he potentially can wipe anyone out. And people will say, oh, well, he's only wiped out lower level guys or smaller guys. No. He has the ability to wipe anybody out if he catches them with the right shot. And people say, Gervonta is not going to catch Lomachenko. Believe you me, he will catch Lomachenko. I promise you, he will catch Lomachenko. It's just whether Lomachenko's got a fairly good chin. Takes a good punch. So it's whether he can make a dent in Lomachenko when he lands those big shots, whether they can hurt Lomachenko, because believe you me, he will catch him. Gervonta Davis is very twitchy, very fast. They don't call him the mini Mike Tyson for no reason. He's a beast, Gervonta Davis. And he's got very fast twitch muscles. He bursts. I call it when a guy bursts into life. His lunging left hooks, his uppercuts to the body, his uppercuts, to the head. It's just, he's a vicious guy, Gervonta Davis. Vicious guy. He's a very good fighter. And I want to see Gervonta step up to that next level. I think the main question is Mayweather going to allow Gervonta Davis? Because I think Calvin Ford and the team around Gervonta himself, I think they're all ready for that step up. They want to fight the top guys. They want to get in the ring with Lomachenko. I think Gervonta Davis is now ready for the stabilizers to come off and for him to prove to the world that Gervonta Davis is the real deal. Gervonta Davis is one of the best, is the best lightweight in the world. Gervonta Davis is that guy who some think he is and some think he's a hype job. I think Gervonta Davis is ready to prove the haters wrong, and he's ready to prove to the people that believed in him that he is the real deal. But it's only if he's matched with the fighters that we want him to see, because Gervonta Davis now, if he's not going to beat Lomachenko now, he's never going to beat Lomachenko. And what I mean by that is, we've been hearing about this fight for about 5 years now, 5-6 years. You know, Gervonta Davis isn't getting any younger. He's 27 years of age. Now, they may think, let's wait another couple of years because Lomachenko is going to be, 37, 38. And by then, Gervonta is going to be 30. He's still going to be in around his prime. So let's keep milking it. Let's keep, fighting these type of guys because Gervonta is going to keep making money. But here's the thing. The fans get fed up. And as we heard, we don't know for the truth, but we know that there was rumors that Tank's last pay-per-view didn't do too well. That's probably a sign that the fans aren't happy with the level of opposition. They want to see him tested. They want to see him in there with someone better. And that's why, Tank's pay-per-views probably didn't do as well. I don't think his pay-per-views do phenomenal numbers anyway. But it maybe did a lot worse than what they normally do, because of the fact that the fans are frustrated, they're unhappy. Now, I get it this way, that Isaac Cruz was an unknown guy. He didn't have much of an audience. Nobody really knew who he was. So that probably, because I think Rolly Romero and Gervonta would have probably done big numbers because of the fact that, Rolly Romero would have sold the fight. And I won't be surprised if Gervonta fights Rolly Romero next, to be honest with you. But I just don't know what that fight does. In terms of his credibility, his legacy, I don't know what that fight does. I think now it's the time for him to jump in with a Lomachenko, jump in with even a Ryan Garcia, even though I don't think from a legacy standpoint, I think a legacy standpoint, it makes a difference. That would definitely help help him create a better legacy. But I think Ryan Garcia is now a level behind. Ryan Garcia has been inactive. He's not been in the ring, and I think he needs to prove a lot more at this point. Tank is ready for your Cambosas, your Haney's, your Lomachenkos. I think these are the kind of fights that Tank needs to be pushing for. And I'm not saying it's him. I think he wants those fights. Without question, any fighter wants to prove he's the best. And Gervonta Davis is a warrior, he's a fighter. Why isn't he going to want to fight Cambosas? Why isn't he going to want to fight Devin Haney? Or why is he not going to want to fight Shakur Stevenson? Or why is he not going to want to fight Lomachenko? Gervonta Davis will fight anyone. That's Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis believes in his talent. But here's the thing. Sometimes you're managed and promoted by people that know how much of an asset you are. Floyd Mayweather knows that Gervonta Davis is a massive, massive asset to his business, is a massive, massive asset to box. Potentially could be the biggest star in the sport. Leonard Ellaby always says that in interviews, that Gervonta is the biggest star in the sport. I disagree. I don't think he's the biggest star in the sport. I think he could become it. I think he has the potential. I think he has the fighting style. I think he has a very fan-friendly style. I think he has a huge audience. I think a lot of people like Gervonta Davis. They like the story. They like him. And I think the fact that he's close with Mayweather, I think that helps his image and brand and helps him to grow. It doesn't hurt when you've got probably the biggest star in combat sports today, even though Floyd is retired, but he's the biggest name in combat sports and the most well-known today. And him being attached to him and him being around him definitely helps, promote Gervonta even more. Floyd has millions and millions of followers on social media, and Floyd promoting Gervonta, being around Gervonta is only going to help Gervonta's image and help his growth from a social media point of view, from a promotion point of view, help his pay-per-view numbers. It's just going to help, So I definitely think Gervonta has the capability of becoming a massive pay-per-view star. I think he's a great fighter, but I think it's now time where he needs to step up and fight those next level of opposition. We know he can beat Barrios. We know he can beat Leo Santa Cruz, who's a lot smaller. We know he can beat Gamboa. But now it's about stepping up to that next level and proving that he's the best in the division, because as of right now, he hasn't proven that he's the best in any division. He's not proven that he's the best at 130. He's not proven he's the best at 135. He's not proven he's the best at 140. It's only hearsay. It's only his promoter saying he's the best. Or Leonard Ellaby saying that, you know, Gervonta's the best. Gervonta beats that guy. Okay, you're saying that. Put him in with those guys then, and let's see if he does do it, because that's what we want to see. That's what we're interested in. That's what we want to see. You know, it's all good talking. We all know Gervonta Davis is a talent. Everybody knows Gervonta Davis can fight and he's a talent. But we want to now see him in the big fights. And that's when fans will buy the pay-per-views, and they'll buy it in big numbers. You know, because people don't want to see Gervonta Davis in with unknown guys. They want to see him in with known guys. They want to see him in with killers. They want to see him in with guys that they feel are a threat to him and can beat him. You know, Isaac Cruz was a tough fight for Gervonta Davis, and some people thought Gervonta lost. But the point I'm trying to make is, people thought that was a cherry pick. Nobody really looked at that fight and thought it was a tough fight. Now, Leonard and all those guys were saying before the fight that it's going to be tough, it's not going to be easy, but it's kind of like fans aren't going to believe that, because fans are going to just think you're trying to sell pay-per-view. You're trying to sell, you know, a pay-per-view to the fans. But if you go in with a named opponent, you don't have to. The fight sells itself. If Gervonta fights Lomachenko, he doesn't have to sell us anything. He doesn't have to say, well, you know, he doesn't have to say anything, because the fight will sell itself. The fight's already sold. The fight would sell itself. He doesn't have to promote that fight. That fight promotes itself because it's such a great fight. And I think the time is now for Gervonta Davis to step up and fight Lomachenko or Haney, or one of those guys. He needs to have a big fight. He needs to have a big 2022. He needs to fight some of the elite guys, or considered the elite guys in the division, so we can find out how good he really is. Because at the minute, he's been fighting at 130, 135, 140, and he's not been fighting anywhere near the best. Like, if he went to 140 and fought Barrios, and Taylor's the undisputed champion there, you know, he went to 135 and fought, you know, we fought Isaac Cruz, and Isaac Cruz turned out to be a tough guy. But again, he's not the best. He's not considered the best. And here's the thing, Gervonta Davis is a cash cow. Anyone would want to fight Gervonta Davis. Like I said to you, Kambosos would probably take the Gervonta Davis in a heartbeat, because Gervonta Davis would be probably Kambosos' highest payday. And he'd probably make more money fighting Gervonta than any of the other fighters. Maybe Ryan Garcia. So if Gervonta Davis and his team want to come forward and fight Kambosos, I'm pretty sure that fight will get done quicker, because I think Lomachenko isn't as big a money fight for Kambosos, and I don't think Devin Haney's as big a money fight as Kambosos. But unfortunately, Gervonta is not going to go to Australia and fight Kambosos in Australia. But who knows? If they were to offer the fight Kambosos in America and the money's so good for them to turn down, maybe they won't turn it down. Maybe Kambosos will come to America if the money's great, because Kambosos is looking to get paid now. Kambosos, he's become an undisputed champion. I mean, he's definitely got most of the belts. So he now wants a huge payday. That's why he's looking for the best option for himself, where he can make as much money as possible, and also have a chance of winning as well, because Kambosos proved against Lopez he can fight. So that's what Kambosos wants. Kambosos wants the biggest payday at this particular point. And that's probably Gervonta Davis. So I think that's a fight they should explore. Lomachenko fight is great, but the problem with the Lomachenko fight, it's not for anything. It's no titles, nothing on the line. There's nothing on the line to that fight. And I think that fight's too big for just a nothing fight. I do, but you know, it doesn't mean if it gets made, I wouldn't be happy about it. I'd be chuffed. That's one of the best fights I want to see. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you want to see Gervonta beat Lomachenko? And do you think Gervonta would beat Lomachenko? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.